Akron Athletics presents Zips Weekly with Joe Moorhead. Sponsored by Hilton Akron Fairlawn. And now your host, Joe Dunn.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to a brand new edition of Zips Weekly with head coach Joe Moorhead. Hopefully you'll stay with us for the next 25 minutes as we update you with what's happening with the University of Akron football program. And what's happening right now, how about the Zips getting a little break in the schedule? Only 3 games left in the 2022 schedule. Akron back home on Tuesday night, November 8th, for some action. Eastern Michigan will be in town. We'll talk about that one a little bit later. But, Coach, first really break in the schedule gives you a chance to regroup and get ready for those final 3.
Yeah, a little bit of a mini bye. Had a meetings and lifting yesterday, gave the kids off today, and we're game planning. We'll have a combination developmental practice and bonus Eastern Michigan the next 2 days, give the kids another day off. Then we'll get into our normal weekly schedule.
Yeah, I was going to bring this up a little bit later in the program, but with the break and with 3 games left, maybe see some new players, some of those young freshmen, maybe get some playing time in the final 3 or not.
Yeah, we want to be smart with what we do in terms of maintaining the red shirts that we worked on all season. But every week we evaluate our guys and
Sure.
Look at them through the course of practice from an effort, an assignment, and productivity standpoint, and put the guys on the field to give us the best chance to win.
Yeah. Which brings us to the Miami game. Tough loss on Saturday to the Miami Redhawks. And Coach, talked to you after the game, looking at the stats. As we said, almost 400 yards total offense. You held Miami, I think, to only 2 and 13 and third down conversions. Field position, a couple of mistakes. You think that's the key to that one on Saturday or not?
Yeah, I think the stat sheet looked better than the outcome. Obviously, this was the first week in the last 6 where you look at it and say we didn't take a positive step forward. Probably took a little bit of a step back as a team. I thought there were some bright spots on defense. We did some good things on offense in certain areas. But as you mentioned, you look at the stats, and the 2 things that stand out were turnovers and our inability to score touchdowns in the red zone. And we needed that to win this game.
Exactly. Beautiful day for football this past Saturday over Infosys Stadium. Right now, let's go back and watch kickoff as the Zips take on Miami. And Miami wins the toss. They take the football. And, Coach, we're going to get them off the field right away. Defense comes into play early.
Yeah, they did a nice job. Tim Terry, running down the sweep here. Did a good job by KJ, right, tackling on the 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 4 there when they usually pass. So in man-to-man there, read the tight end block and field, and KJ played his best game of the year. A bunch of guys on defense had their best performances. Yeah,
we're going to talk about the front 4 a little bit later, but I thought those guys are getting better each week. They're a big group.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, our first 2 possessions, Coach, are going to start at the 13. That's a long way to go.
Yeah, and that's what we discussed earlier, the hidden yardage battle and drive starts. We lost 49 yards by not fielding some punts. And, for a team where the margin of error is small, we need to create field position. We don't create any turnovers on defense. We've had 1 in MAC play. We don't do a great job with gaining yards and possessions on special teams, and we've been turning the ball over. So those are the things we need to work on that really don't show up a ton in the box score.
DJ Irons, another good game offensively. Receivers doing a good job of cutting off those patterns in front of the safeties and the corners. Some good plays.
Yeah, and it's. We had another very good day throwing the ball. 2 receivers over 100 and DJ, well over 300. Same thing, got to find a way to run the ball. With a kind of different combination in there for the offensive line every week. So that's we go ahead into week 9. That's still a big work in progress.
See the Zips kind of blow up that bubble screen over there. Good pursuit of the football. Unfortunately, they get a short field. I think they go 50 yards for the first touchdown.
Yeah, backed up and we shanked the punt out of bounds and didn't put our defense in a great position. That's that drive start battle that we talk about all the time.
Zips again throwing down the field. Another shot from ground level.
Yeah, to Shockey. And same thing. First 2 drives we moved down the field and unfortunately weren't able to finish it off and turn it into points.
That's a nice diving catch. I think that was for a first down. That might have been on 3rd and long.
Yeah, it was.
Going to run the football there, and Zips trying to get back in it. They trail right now as you watch highlights from Saturday, 7-0 against the Miami Redhawks. As you mentioned, Coach, offensive line, you've been pretty good with Williams and Wigan on that one side, but looking for some guys on the other side, I guess.
Yeah, we got a true freshman at left tackle, Robarge, Georges, and are both guys who came to Akron as walk-ons. We put them on scholarship, and they're fighting their tails off and doing a good job. You know, Wigan's been the anchor, and as you mentioned, Nate Williams has been, you know, doing well at the right tackle spot.
Comes Price around the right side. Gets a nice block from the quarterback irons. You like to see your quarterbacks block. You don't want to see him do a lot of that, though.
Yeah, that was design play there for DJ to get on the edge. And, you know, once again, you know, 2 of 4 in the red zone, 1 of 3 touchdowns. And, you know, we can't, you know, field goals are good, but when we get it down in there, we need to score touchdowns.
Yeah, I kind of circled 4 scoring opportunities. And those very easily could have been touchdowns for you.
Yeah, 1 touchdown, a field goal, a 4th down stop. The touchdown, and then the other one that DG fumbled at about the 15-yard line. You know, those were 5 scoring opportunities from in the red zone. Curtis Harper played his best game of the year as well. There, see him on the set.
Yeah, I mentioned that front 4. They're really playing well, and they're, you know, you talk about chemistry, Coach, on the offensive line. There's chemistry on that front 4 too. Yeah,
Victor, Curtis, Ravante, Zach Morton's been playing really well. Ryan Johnson has done really well the past few weeks, and like I mentioned, defense gave up 17 in the first half, then made some adjustments and only gave up a field goal in the second half, 268 yards. That was definitely our best defensive performance.
Yeah, the one play we didn't see, which happened early in the football game, is when Alex Adams broke open down the right hash and just off his fingertips. That could have been big. Could have given Akron early momentum in the football game.
Yeah, 7-0 there, and you're looking to, you know, create momentum and maintain it, and you know, that definitely was an opportunity. You know, the biggest issue right now is we're not playing complementary football across the board. You know, you go back to Bowling Green in Central Michigan, you know, had both units firing on all cylinders, and those were the ones we had the closest chance to win. You know, Kent in Ohio, you know, offense was playing really, really well, and maybe it wasn't our defense's best performance. And now, you know, against Miami, it was the other way around. So, got to figure a way to have all 3 phases playing at a high level, you know, for 4 full quarters.
Yeah, the last play we just saw, Coach, you've run that a lot, and that seems always to be open. The crossing pattern about 25 yards out, that's helped you a lot this year.
Yeah, it works well against man and zone, and you know, we could get you know, Alex and those slot guys across the middle of the formation, and DJ feels comfortable making that throw as well.
Yep. Zips down 17-3 at the half. We're going to take a break, come back look at second half highlights right after this. Don't go away.
At the University of Akron, you have opportunity. Opportunity to be transformed through learning in our more than 200 in-demand degree programs. Opportunity to gain lifelong talents in the classroom, the studio, the lab, and in the community. And the opportunity to be a leader because of those who will support you here. At the University of Akron, you'll find your opportunity to reach greater heights. Here, everyone rises.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
here, let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes H-Jacks Plumbing and Heating. Find them at hjacks.com.
Okay, welcome back to Zips Weekly with head coach Joe Moorhead. We're going to now watch highlights from the second half from the game against Miami on Saturday. Akron is down 17-3, Coach, but we're going to do some good things offensively and defensively in the second half. Got a little better, I thought.
Yeah, definitely on defense. You know, we were able to move the ball some on offense. Too many, you know, turnovers possessions that resulted in turnovers where we were in scoring range. But yeah, defense definitely played a very good half.
Okay, let's go back and watch highlights. Again, a beautiful day for football, Infocision Stadium. Akron's going to get that second half kickoff when he almost break one, Coach, I think.
Yeah, Blake Hester did a really nice job, got a few blocks. I think that might not have been that one. Yeah, I think it might have been the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, we started off hot. Yep.
I think he had a good return, too, in that in the second half. I think I saw him pound the turf on once. He missed maybe a cut to the right.
Yeah, he did. That was over here on the right-hand side and got a face mask, too. Did a real nice job creating pressure on this guy with a four-man rush.
Very close to a fumble, Coach. They had to take another look at that one, but we're going to see it from ground level. Looks like it might be out, but.
Yeah, I think the elbow might have been down there. You know, the one that got OPI on us, and they ran the same play down there and didn't get it called. So those are ones we'll see what the office has to say about those.
DJ going to scramble again. Good decision there, and takes on one of the Red Hawks. Then we're going to watch that from ground level.
Yeah, as you mentioned, this is dang drive was one of the turning points of the game. We get down in there, you know, with a 4th and half a yard and try to run inside zone with 2 double teams and get stopped, and we punch it in there. It's a 17-10 game with, you know, half the time left in the third quarter. Great job by there on the defense on the 3rd and short, stopping them. See, people say, well, go quarterback sneak. You know, quarterback sneak doesn't always work, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got to trust in your plays and your game plan, and, you know.
One thing I noticed about the front four, Coach, they're playing with a lot of enthusiasm. They seem to be a good group and enjoy playing football.
A ton of energy, you know, seeing that from the guys, and I think a lot of that is generated by Bubba too, you know, getting the guys going, and he's been a very, very good leader, and Curtis as well as a captain.
Saw Tim Terry there with good pursuit into the Miami sidelines.
Tim's really, last 3 weeks has really stepped his game up, and he's playing well. You know, graduate guy with, you know, last year eligibility, playing with that urgency. Here's that kickoff for Blake you were talking about a little bit earlier.
Yeah, this is the return, Coach, I was alluding to. He breaks one tackle, breaks another tackle, and takes a couple people with him up close to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, Blake's done a really nice job on kickoff return.
And you told us last week you put him on scholarship a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we did. He earned it. Defense pins him here. We get a sack, and they punt from the 3. And unfortunately, you talk about the field position. You know, they get a 67-yard punt, you know, thinking you're going to get that thing around the 50 with a short field. And the kid Rugby kicks it over our head, and you know, now we got to go long field for the drive.
That was Darian Lewis coming from the left side on the sack. I thought he disguised that pretty well. I don't think the quarterback ever saw him coming until he was on top of him.
Yeah, we were holding the cover 2 shell there, and had to double mug with the backers up in the A-gap, so they had to slide down on those guys, and you know, D-Lou was able to come free off the edge.
Good pursuit there again by the Zip defense, who continue to play hard regardless of the score on Saturday.
Yeah, held him to 84 yards rushing, and you know, we're trying to look back and find out the last time an Akron defense had held an opponent under 100 yards rushing.
It's been a while.
It's been quite a while, so that was a good positive step forward.
Last pass was complete to Daniel George. And again, that same pattern has worked a lot through the season, Coach.
Yeah, Alex is doing a really nice job. We have, I think, 4 guys in MAC play who are in the top 10 in receiving. You know, Shockey's, you know, one of the top guys in the country, and you know, Alex is really, really improving. So, as we talk about every week, really like our receiving corps.
Akron continued to move down the field, getting ready for their final touchdown of the game. DJ with a good decision here.
Yeah, design quarterback draw. Reverse to Tony Grimes, getting us down in there close, and then you know, we're able to you know, get this thing to Alex on a corner route against cover 0.
Again, DJ, we got a lead in the pack there with a nice block.
Yep.
Going to throw this in the corner of the end zone.
Alex,
watch it. Well, he was under some pressure, Coach. He got that away just in time.
Yeah, Alex is really, really playing well the last few weeks. You know, multiple years eligibility left. You know, really excited about his future. He's going to be a really, really good player here. He's having an awesome year.
Yeah, you've got 2 of your top 3 receivers back again next year.
Yeah, Shockey's the only one that graduates.
Final moments of the game on Saturday.
Yeah, defense holding strong in 4-minute drill. You know, they're trying to run the thing out, and you know, we're able to get them the punt and get off the field.
I saw Jess Lord Boateng come in and make a nice play late in the football game, too.
He came in and made the most of his snaps.
Again, from ground level, we're going to throw the pass again. Alex Adams. You're right, Coach. He is maybe playing his best football he's ever played in a college uniform here the last 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, I think he had 2 total receptions at LSU, and you know, like we're doing with all these portal guys, you give them a fresh start, an opportunity, and you know, it's worked out for just about all of them.
Yeah, how much better can he get? This is his first year really playing full-time college football. He's gaining confidence each week.
He's a guy that has the tools, you know, down the road to potentially play at the next level.
Sure.
But we'd like to see him continue to develop and, you know, turn into an all-MAC guy here. And, you know, I think the sky's the limit for Alex.
I agree. Good football player. We're going to take a break. When we come back, as we always do, we're going to talk to the coach about some of the top performances from this past week. We'll be back right after this.
At the University of Akron, you have opportunity. Opportunity to be transformed through learning in our more than 200 in-demand degree programs. opportunity to gain lifelong talents in the classroom, the studio, the lab, and in the community. And the opportunity to be a leader because of those who will support you here. At the University of Akron, you'll find your opportunity to reach greater heights. Here, everyone rises.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
here, let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes H-Jacks Plumbing and Heating. Find them at hjacks.com.
Well, we always look forward to segment 3 each week when the coach talks about some of his players, some of the outstanding things they do on a week-to-week basis. We've already talked about the defensive front four. Let's give them some names. How about Victor Jones, Ravante Holt, Curtis Harper, Zach Morton? That's a good group, Coach. I'm not sure I know there's some good defensive groups in the MAC, but that's a pretty solid group for you right now.
Yeah, and they're trending in the right direction. You know, as we got into MAC play, you're seeing them all improve on a weekly basis. And, you know, the guy that stuck out of that group this week was Curtis Harper. Really did a nice job.
You got Ryan Johnson, too. I know he had a penalty on late hit on the quarterback, but he did some good things for you, too, in that rotation.
Yeah, Ryan's really bought into the process. You know, he's worked hard during the week. You know, and for now, for a younger guy, you know, kind of playing that backup role where he's getting snaps and being able to, you know, get in and be effective. I like the way Ryan's trending. Then
you got Julian Richardson, who was injured a little bit the first 3 or 4 games of the season. He's come back. He's kind of a hybrid defensive end, outside linebacker type.
Yeah, when we play against teams that are multiple tight ends or 2 backs, you know, Julian bumps out to play the same position, the outside linebacker position. So a lot of versatility, good leadership, positive attitude, and you know, I think he had about 15 snaps this week and made the most of them.
He's only a junior.
Yes,
back for you next year.
Yep.
Young guy that I'm excited to see. You talked about him a little bit, Coach, is the big kid, I think, out of Connecticut, Kaiwan Murphy. 6'3", 325. I'm not sure if you got him down a little bit lighter right now or not.
No, we got him in for a couple snaps on field goal block, and you know, he's a guy that's got, you know, he could play the 4 games and still maintain his red shirt. But you talk about continuing to upgrade the talent level on the roster, the speed, the size, the athleticism, the explosiveness, and we certainly did that with this class. We need to continue turning it over and, you know, bringing in more guys like Kaiwan. But you know, talking about a 6'2", 6'3" guy that's 325 pounds plus, and you know, a guy that can stop the run and rush the passer.
I would think in the recruiting process, the guys that are hardest to get a lot of competition for those defensive linemen.
O-line and D-line.
Yeah, exactly.
For high school and even more so in the portal.
As far as big hits are concerned, one of the biggest hits came in the special teams, and that was Brian McCoy, a young linebacker out of Peoria, Illinois. He had a big hit, Coach, and you keep talking about him each week.
Yeah, I couldn't be more excited about Brian and his progress. A guy that's earned a ton of snaps at the linebacker position. We got him covering kicks. Great mentality, positive attitude, hard worker, you know, cares about his teammates and winning, and is a guy that I could see being a captain here and, you know, doing a lot of great things for the Zips.
It always makes me feel good when a walk-on gets a scholarship, and you talked about Blake Hester, and he's a young kid, I think, out of Ashland, Kentucky. He came up to Akron and took his chances, and now he's got a scholarship, and he continues to do some good things on special teams, recruiting kickoffs for you.
Yeah, and you know, plays a valuable role at running back as well, but you need those guys on your team, and they may not be a starter, may not be an all-MAC guy, but he knows his role and does his job to the best of his ability. Great teammate, you know, awesome leadership. You know, Coach Terry does a great job with him, so it was great to be able to reward Blake with a scholarship.
You know, Coach, I know one of the things you like to do is recruit locally. It's always good to see a young kid come in that plays well locally. A man out of Akron, St. Vincent, St. Mary. Darian Lewis had a sack, and he continues to play well. I think he's a redshirt freshman. He's got a lot of time left.
Absolutely, and as we mentioned, we're going to try to keep as many you know, local guys around as possible. You know, they obviously need to have the talent to play winning football at this level, but you know, we're going hard, you know, at everyone within a 2-hour radius and want to keep them all at home. Obviously, it's got to be reciprocal, but you know, he's a great example of a guy that decided to stay close to home, is having a lot of success.
You make a great point, Coach. I run to people all the time, and they say, well, ask the coach, is he recruiting this guy or that guy? And I always say, hey, he's got to be able to play at this level before we can recruit him.
Yeah, we're recruiting and evaluating everybody, so we know who the players are. We're going to hit every school, but, you know, Akron's never going to be somebody's fallback option because they don't get the offer that they want at another school. Well, they can always go to Akron. Well, no, they can't come to Akron because we're only going to take the guys that have all the tangibles and intangibles to come here and help us win, because it's cyclical, right? You start taking guys that can't play at this level, and you have a roster full of guys that can't win. So, we want everybody that's local, but we want the guys that can play.
Boy, I agree 100%, Coach. Quickly, let's talk about some of the offensive guys. We got to start with DJ Irons, almost 375 yards of total offense, completing about 70% of his passes, making good decisions now.
Yeah, leads the MAC in passing. He's one of the top 25 in the country, and has really shown a lot of growth. You just got to eliminate a couple of those 2-3 plays a game where maybe he's forcing the ball or making a bad read, but the offense goes through him, and certainly distributing the ball to all of our playmakers. And I'm really proud of how DJ's played this season. We've
talked a lot about Alex Adams in the first two segments. How about Daniel George, the transfer from Penn State? Still has another year eligibility. He's going to be a key next year in the remainder of the schedule.
Yeah, 4 for 68 for DG this week, and then Shockey with over 100 yards again. And is a guy that is in the top 10 of a bunch of receiving categories in the country. So. We talked about it a bunch. They're the strength of the team, and those guys really feed off of each other and are excited for the success the guys have.
Okay, I hope you enjoy the coach talking about some of the players that are key this year and, of course, into the future for this football program. We're going to take a break. As we said, the Zips with a little bit of time off. When they come back, it'll be a Tuesday night game against Eastern Michigan. It's Maction time all over the Mid-American Conference. We'll come back and talk about that right after this timeout.
At the University of Akron, you have opportunity. Opportunity to be transformed through learning in our more than 200 in-demand degree programs. Opportunity to gain lifelong talents in the classroom, the studio, the lab, and in the community. And the opportunity to be a leader because of those who will support you here. At the University of Akron, you'll find your opportunity to reach greater heights. Here, everyone rises.
It takes attention to detail. With your local Bryant dealer, you're getting more than just a technician. You're getting someone who pays attention to your needs and the little things that make a big difference. It takes a dealer you can rely on. And to keep your family warm this winter,
here, let me show you how this works.
It takes Bryant.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
And to keep your family comfortable, it takes HJAX Plumbing and Heating. Find them at hjax.com.
Okay, not much time left, but just enough time to talk about Maction. And Coach, this is your first look at Maction. I'm sure you've watched the Maction on TV through the years. What are your thoughts on playing those weeknight games? We got Eastern Michigan coming up on Tuesday night, November 8th.
Who doesn't enjoy Maction?
There you go.
I think they said the other day there was a span of, 60 straight days where there's going to be college or pro football on TV. And we're part of that, only show in town on a Tuesday, and excited for Senior Day, last home game, and another opportunity for us to get better and win a football game.
Yeah, Eastern comes to town after a tough loss against Toledo, 27-24. They had a lead going into the fourth quarter. Toledo, you think a lot of, Coach, scored 10 points in the fourth quarter. To win that, they're off like we are. Should be a good football game.
Yeah, you watched the ending of the Toledo game, and Eastern Michigan was up 24-20, had them 4th and 11, and Toledo converted a post route down to the goal line, and were able to punch it in and win the games. So Eastern, they had the game, gave up a 4th down, but Coach Creighton's done an unbelievable job, given the opportunity to build that program, and he's done some really nice things.
Now, you mentioned Coach Chris Creighton, who played his college football down at Kenyon. I think he was a quarterback down there, did a lot of good things.
The student princes.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You know your football, Coach, no doubt about that. Hey, the Eastern Michigan Eagles averaging about 27 points a game, giving up, they're averaging about 342 yards, so a good football team.
Yeah, been to a bowl, I think lost to Liberty last year in their bowl game, on the cusp of bowl eligibility now, still fighting for, division championship. But, it's going to be a very difficult game against a great opponent.
Exactly. Coach, thanks again for being here, talking some football with us every week. We have our Zips Weekly, and of course, we look forward to seeing you back here in a few weeks as we talk about that Eastern Michigan game. And always remember, go Zips.
This has been Zips Weekly with Joe Moorhead. Sponsored by Hilton Akron Fairlawn. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Zips.
This has been a presentation from Learfield IMG College.